we are today in the both place of the table with Joseph Profaci, who is the executive director of the North American Olive Oil Association. Thank you very much for being here with us, giving us a point of view about the market, about the consumption, about the behavior of the consumer, and also about how USA today is one of the most important countries from the point of view of the consumption in the world. Good evening here. Good morning there. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Juan, very much. It's a pleasure to speak with you today, and yeah, I'm happy to give you what I can tell you about the United States and the market and where we think things are going.
Okay, thank you very much. And then, in order to begin with the questions, as you know, in Europe, the last two seasons were very, very, very bad. Maybe 30% of production if you compare with a normal season. How was the last two seasons in USA?
Well, I'll speak just briefly in terms of production because we do have some production here in the United States, and I must say it's actually quite good in terms of quality, but it's very small in terms of quantity. And maybe we're looking at 15,000 tons of production for the whole country. 99% of which comes from California. And the last two seasons have actually not been bad in California. They've been pretty average in terms of production quantities, and quality has been good. So, but as at 15,000 tons, it barely reaches 3% of U.S. demand. So when we look at the United States in terms of consumption, we really only focus on imports because basically everything that Californians can produce is purchased and consumed here, and then the rest is really what we look at. Consumption has continued to grow in the United States in the last 2 years, and I think in fact the drought, the weather conditions brought on excuse me by climate change or weather conditions. It's concerning because Americans love their olive oil, and in effect we see how we are dependent on foreign oil for our health and our culinary appreciation of food, etc. So I'm hoping that this last 2 years will spur more investment in the United States to grow more olive oil here, but the interesting thing, what we've seen in terms of the drought and the limited supply, the higher prices, is that consumption in the United States has not really been affected very much. The most recent data I saw showed that in the last 12 months that prices have gone up about 20%, maybe a little more than that, but consumption has dropped only 3%, maybe a little less than 3%. So consumers are continuing to purchase olive oil. Remember, Juan, Americans are that are using olive oil today, most of them did not grow up in their homes being fed olive oil. They at some point in their adult lives, they've made a choice to change from something less healthy to something that tastes wonderful and is good for you. And I think once you've made the conscious choice to leave behind a lesser quality product, then it's hard to go back. It's hard to reverse yourself. Yeah. And so they're paying more. How much more they will pay, that we don't know yet. But right now we are optimistic that the potential for growth here is enormous and will continue to climb.
And increase the price 20% and only drop the consumption 3%.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then one small question: the consumer is step by step more sophisticated, or
yes? Yeah, so in fact, we have some recent research that shows that of new consumers, the consumers who've come into the market, we asked them, what type of oil did you purchase for the first time? Which olive oil did you purchase for the first time? And we saw that 30% of them purchased a pure, olive
Origin.
oil comprised of virgin and refined. And here, we have a category that we call light. So it's has very, very little enrichment. So it's very, very neutral. Of that 30%, we found that within a very short time, they were purchasing extra virgin olive oil. And so, and what we're seeing now also is a growth in what we call the specialty sector, where when we look at the categories of value brand and mainstream and then specialty, I think we calculate is at 60 cents per ounce or more. So they get to be pretty expensive, and that is a category that has shown consistent growth. So we see that there is a progression as people come into the category. They may come in at a lower grade. They start to appreciate the flavors, the versatility, the health benefits, and then gradually learn that, there's a whole world of olive oil flavors to discover. And so, yeah,
Very, very good. And then
it's
where the people are consuming more olive oil, at home or in the restaurant, in bars, and so on.
This is a very good question, and the data that I'm providing you is only talking about at home, because what we're talking about are the supermarket sales data. At the restaurant level, the higher prices has had an impact, and so that there definitely is less olive oil being consumed in food service. So that indicates, in fact, that if our total consumption or imports is continuing to grow or remaining relatively stable, it shows that at home consumers are buying more because their food service is using less.
Okay, okay. It's similar in Europe. It's totally similar in Europe. Only for your information, uh, in the world is 75-25% at home and food service 25%. And for example, in some countries like Spain is 65 and around 35 at home. Is
Yeah.
Is similar. Is similar. Always we use more olive oil at home in every price of the world.
Yeah.
And then you were speaking about the level of the prices. An average, how much is one liter of more or less? Is only to have an idea.
An idea. So I think the average for, I would say, I'm not in my position, I receive a lot of olive oil for free. So so I don't often buy it, and when I buy it, I tend to be buying something, in a higher price category. But I think that the average is around, I would say, probably somewhere between $15 and $20 US dollars for a liter now. You can find less, of course, but I think that's a
Quality.
fairly stable price. Now, of course, the value brands, we've seen a big increase in the last couple of years in the private label segment. This is
Okay.
the brands of do you call it white label, or I don't know what, so the supermarket brand that has no label, and that is one reason that the prices have not gone up more, is because that sector has kept the prices low, because olive oil is they want people to buy olive oil, then they buy other products, and so
Which percentage is private label if you compare with
about 40%, about
40% private label?
yeah,
In
at
Spain
the retail.
is around 70% white label, and
Wow.
yes, and 25% more or less 30%
Wow.
the companies which has the
The
brand
brand,
in
proprietary brand, yeah.
private label. Yes, yes, it's
So
totally. And then the price is going up or now or is going down?
It's because the price increases were slow to arrive in the U.S. They're continuing to climb a little bit now, but that's slowing down. So I think we will see them coming down.
By step, no? Step by step.
Correct.
Okay. Slowly, I think, like in Spain and Italy and Greece, slowly is going down. Okay, and then do you know that this reduction of prices will increase the consumption in USA?
I don't know that because remember, of course, we've already had an increase, so we're going back towards a more normal level, I think. But I just overall feel there's a great opportunity. In the United States, only 39, 36, 37% of households purchase olive oil in the last year. So we have a big opportunity here to grow and increase consumption in more households. And it is going to be, again, the great qualities of olive oil in terms of its taste, its health benefits, and now, of course, sustainability as a very important message
I
for
agree.
consumer.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Do you know that USA, the last year was the second consumer country in the world ahead of Spain?
I know. Well, in fairness, we do have a lot more people than Spain, but it's significant, and I think within 5 years we may be the number one. I'm hoping that's
Totally agree. I totally agree with you. Yes, totally agree.
okay.
Because if you increase only 10 cubic centimeters
Yeah,
per person, you have
yeah.
totally right. Totally right.
Right. And the our per capita consumption is very low. It's barely over 1 liter, but that's per capita. And when you figure that 60% of our population doesn't use any, those who are using it are using a good amount. So I think there's a great opportunity to grow.
And the last question, the last of my question before you speaking another things. For example, in Spain, as you know, we have two special oils, the 50-50 more or less. There are some more, but the most important are sunflower oil and the olive oil.
Yeah.
And then which which position has the olive oil in the level of in the ranking of oils in USA, more or less?
Uh, uh, Olive oil as a total cooking oil, edible oils at the supermarket level is around 16% of consumption in volume.
In value, in price, in money.
And when you talk about money, no, if you want to talk about money, we are number one.
Okay.
Yes, number one in money, only 16% in terms of, and that's behind. Number one is vegetable oil, which is a mixture category, mostly considered soybean oil, and then canola and olive oil are very close in terms of percentages, and then sunflower is less, and yeah, so those are the main four. But by far the vegetable oil is the leader in the United States. Maybe I don't know if I forget
No, no,
exactly.
no.
Maybe
It's okay.
40% of the volume is a volume. But when it comes to price and it comes to dollar value, olive oil is number one. I think 40% of edible oil cooking dollars are spent on olive oil.
It's very good. It's very, very good. Then
Yeah,
the situation is improving
yeah.
step by step. You are doing a very good job.
Thank you. I can't take the credit, but I like to contribute. I hope I'm contributing anyway. So
Okay. Maybe do you want to explain something more as you want, or
yeah, I mean the one thing that's giving me also a lot of optimism. We are working on creating in the United States a program like the interprofessional
Very good.
in Spain. So here, you know, what's keeping back consumption is the lack of awareness and education in the United States, and this would give us an opportunity to create a substantial amount of funding to educate the consumer, the buyers of the supermarkets, the trade, food service. So we're working on a number of interesting projects like that. We're also working on a program with the Culinary Institute of America that I'm very excited about. The Culinary Institute of America is one of the foremost cooking schools in the world. We are helping them develop a curriculum to teach about olive oil. So this is, you know, an important part of future growth for America, because so much of the food culture that we, you know, that we develop, it comes from the restaurants. And so this is part of what we're looking forward to in the next few years.
Very good initiatives in order to improve the consumption, the healthy, and very
Good.
good. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Juan.
And nothing else. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
being here again.
My pleasure. I'm always happy to talk, and I look forward to seeing you in Spain.
I was very happy in order to understand and to learn more things about your fantastic country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, and all the best from Spain. And good evening, good morning for you.
Thank you. Okay. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Bye bye.